Now the amp section determines the level and pan before we hit the stereo effects section. And we have an amp envelope here, which is hardwired to affect the level. And this is just an additional level control to basically determine the amount of level we have going to stereo effects. And the pan control allows you to pan it left and right, and this can obviously be modulated to create auto pan effects. Now additionally, on the amp section we have this feedback dial here. Now this allows us to determine the amount of feedback which is going to be added at the different points that we specify in the routing page. So as we know, we can click and drag and drop modules within here to create the routing we're looking for. And now this dial, as I said, is going to determine the amount that we're feeding back the signal into itself. So this is going to basically either add subtle saturation and distortion up to just destroying the sound completely. Let me demonstrate. Subtle. To the point where it's just kind of turned into mush. So depending on what you're looking for, you can try different things out with the feedback control, from the subtle to the more extreme. Now we have a button here which allows you to high pass the feedback. Now this is going to prevent you from adding excessive bass into the feedback loop. Bass takes up so much energy that it's going to really color the feedback loop. So by pressing this button, we can kind of reduce some of that. So it makes it a slightly more subtle, it makes it a different effect essentially. Now something that's worth bearing in mind with the feedback control is that, as we know, we can route it into different areas here, and it's going to have different effects depending on what it's being routed to. So let's say we place an effect in here. Let's try a track delay, and let's take the feedback and route it into the input of the track delay. Bring up the amount here. We'll take it off. So it's really bringing out that effect. So obviously whatever we choose here is going to have wildly different results. Try another one. So it basically accentuates whatever it is we have chosen in here. So in and of itself, it doesn't necessarily have a sound. The effect that it brings in is determined by what it's routed to. Okay, so that's the amp section and also the feedback control.